You sat down for 5 minutes, 2 hours disappeared. That's not laziness. That's not weakness. That's a transition failure. And there's a very specific reason it keeps happening. Your nervous system just finished 8 hours of output. It defaulted to the lowest energy path available. Here's the 3-part fix. And step 1 starts right now. Here's what makes this specific. You execute perfectly at work. 8 hours straight. Focused, on time, disciplined. You get home and there's no boss, no structure, no external accountability, and your nervous system interprets that as rest mode. That's not a character flaw. That's a system without a protocol. The fix is a transitional protocol. 3 steps. Designed specifically for the window between shifts and goals. Not productivity, not motivation. A protocol your nervous system can actually follow. Step 1. The standing window. Step 1 is about the first 20 minutes home, because that window decides the next 3 hours. Here's what happens biologically. After 8 hours of output, your cortisol drops. Your body reads the familiar environment, home, couch, phone, and triggers the recovery signal. That signal tells your nervous system, shut down. If you sit down on the couch in the first 5 minutes, the shutdown completes and it takes 2 to 3 hours to override. That's not you being weak, that's physics. The fix for step 1 is what I call the standing window. You have 20 minutes from the moment you walk in. Don't sit down, not because you have to work, because sitting signals the shutdown. Instead, change clothes, drink water, walk to another room. Any physical transition that isn't the couch. You're not starting work, you're preventing the shutdown from completing. 20 minutes, standing. That's the only instructions for step 1. After that, your nervous system is still warm, and warm is workable. Step 2, the task sort. Step 2 is about matching the task to the energy. Most people come home from a shift and immediately sit to do the hardest thing on the to-do list. Deep creative work, planning, writing, building, exercising at 2% battery. That's not discipline, that's a mismatch. And the mismatch creates resistance, triggers the couch. Here's the sort. High battery tasks require your full executive function. Writing, strategizing, complex decisions, new creative work. These belong in the morning before the shift at 100%. Low battery tasks require motion, not thought. Editing a draft that already exists, replying to one message, 10 minutes of something physical, research you can do passively. These are your post-shift tasks, not because they're less important, because your hardware is running in low power mode. You don't fight the battery, you work with it. And here's what I want you to sit with for a second. You've been trying to be productive at 4 p.m. the same way you'd be at 9 a.m. Same task, same expectation, different hardware. That's not a discipline problem. That's an engineering mismatch. And the moment you sort your tasks by battery level, the resistance drops almost completely. Because the task finally fits the hardware. Step 3, the idle rule, is about the real rest, not scrolling. Here's the loop most people are stuck in. They sit on the couch, they feel guilty. So they open YouTube and watch productivity videos, which makes them feel more guilty. So they scroll more. Sleep late, start exhausted, and tomorrow the couch wins again. The loop runs because the rest is never actually restoring. Scrolling is not rest, it's stimulation that looks like rest. Your nervous system stays activated, and activated doesn't recover. The idle rule is this: after step 2, after your low battery task is done, you are authorized to rest. Not because you earned it, because your hardware requires it. Walk, eat, sit without the phone. 15 minutes of genuine recovery, no guilt. And after that, if you have a second low battery task, do it. If you don't, sleep. Because a good sleep tonight is worth more than 2 hours of guilty scrolling. The idle rule isn't permission to quit, it's permission to recover so you can show up tomorrow. I want to tell you how I know this works. In my second year of university, I had an academic suspension. Not because the work was too hard, because I came home every day and sat on the couch, same pattern, same couch, same 2 hours gone. I applied the 3 steps I just showed you, and I got Dean's List. I got Honors Mechanical Engineering in my final year. Not because I got smarter, because I stopped fighting the couch and designed around it instead. So here's the protocol. Step 1, the standing window. First 20 minutes, don't sit. Step 2, the task sort. Low battery work after the shift. High battery in the morning. Step 3, the idle rule. After your task, genuine rest. No guilt, no scrolling. 3 steps, no willpower required. Just a protocol your nervous system can actually follow. If you work a shift and you're building something after hours and you're tired of the couch winning every single evening, subscribe. 3 videos a week, execution systems that work when motivation is dead. No fluff. The couch problem starts before you even get home. The moment you walk through the door sets everything. I covered the full transition in this video right here.